It passed the Senate, homie. This new bill.
Genius Act.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's laying the groundwork for stable coins, which it's I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I tend to think that when it comes to cryptocurrency and decentralized finance, is that it's better off without the government in it. However, stable coins have been a problem for cryptocurrency since the inception. We've had a couple that, so if anybody doesn't know, a stable coin is a cryptocurrency that maintains the price of one at all times. Um, and if you guys know, if you've been around the past couple of years, a couple of these stable coins have failed. So if we just go back a couple of years and we look at Terra Luna had a stable coin that wasn't one anymore one day.
Oh,
And
here we go.
yeah,
Here we
so
go.
um, you have a lot of cryptocurrencies that when they're traded, they're traded against a stable coin. It used to be that it was only traded against Bitcoin or Ethereum. But since the inception of stable coins, now they're traded against stable coins. So if you have one that's, trading against one and it's not one anymore,
Uh-oh. You're not
everything goes
stable.
haywire.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
not stable no more.
everything goes haywire, especially in a lot of these exchanges, they're running bots. So when the price isn't one anymore, it just throws everything into the wind. Uh, so the government, of course, is stepping up because they want to take part in this. Some of the stable coins aren't backed by anything.
But you
Like
said by one. So if it's not the stable coin is not backed by anything, so what the fuck?
it's pegged to the US dollar. In America it's pegged to the US dollar, and
Oh,
in other countries it's pegged to their native currency, but it's pegged to the US dollar, meaning that it's always going to be equal to one US dollar, but it's not backed by anything. Like there's a couple of them that are backed by US treasuries. There are some that are backed by some kind of algorithm.
mhm.
There are some that aren't backed by shit. So if they depeg, then it will fuck everything up. Uh,
Hey,
Okay.
yeah. So
thanks.
here
Okay.
comes the government to the rescue with a stable coin that is backed by government, but also can depeg at any point in fucking time too. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. But I this has been my conspiracy theory since the beginning of cryptocurrency. Is that the government is going to create their own stablecoin, of course, like we see, and
Mhm.
then they're going to create a problem where coins start depegging, and then it's like, hey, we have a solution. We have a government-backed stablecoin. So this is what I'm thinking is that it's going to fuck the market all up here in the next couple of weeks or next month or so, and a lot of stablecoins are going to depeg, and then of course the government
The
has
chosen,
one
yeah, the chosen
already ready, you know, and then
Okay.
it helps facilitate payments. Of course, we see the XRP hype that's going around and the ISO 222 standard with international and cross border payments. It it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Like XRP is going to cheapen payments. If you think like if I wanted to send you $20, I'd have to go to Western Union or
yeah,
Cash App or something. And there's a
yeah.
fee in there somewhere. But with SRP, it's instantaneous, and the fee is fractions of a penny. But XRP is run by a fucking company, and that company owns half of all XRP tokens, and they have a
Right.
private ledger. So that goes against
Hmm.
everything that you can think of when it comes to decentralized finance and cryptocurrency. It's like the
Why they want to get
problems
their
that you
hands on
went
it? Yeah.
to solve with cryptocurrency, you just created again with XRP.
Got it.
So
So
while you're supposedly trying to drop out of the situation of having this non-air quote government entity running finance, you once again run into having a non-government entity running finance again.
yeah, it's like
Because
we
it's
create
making too
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's making too much money. And
Mhm.
the government they saw what was going on, and now they jumping on way late. Because I remember when it first hit, you was like, dude, we about to change everybody's lives. And then
Yeah.
now they got in the mix, and now, like you said, it's a 50-50 ball. You don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, depending on how they spin it. Because, like you said, they're going to create a problem. And then, hey, look, we got y'all solution right here. It's stable. It's in the name. It's in the name,
Yeah.
y'all. We got y'all.
Mhm.
So
And while people weren't looking a couple of years ago, they've changed the code to a lot of the ISO 222 coins where they can recall payments or they can shut off wallets. And that's another
Oh
thing that
shit.
it comes to these stable coins is that they can just say that your money isn't good anymore, and just shut your fucking wallet off.
I
Now
remember
you
you
have,
saying move your shit because they could just close up shop and be like, what coin?
yeah.
What are you talking about? Prove it. And that
Mhm.
was the gift and curse of crypto.
Yeah.
You can move shit, and that's what really fucked the government up. And it was like these motherfuckers are moving billions of dollars. Somebody just went in and hacked with the Hawk Tui girl who did the pump and dump.
Yeah.
Right.
Who went in and got millions, within hours, and then shut that shit down. Just like with the Trump coin and all that stuff. They did those meme coins, did the pump and dump. They got us.
Let's see, and that could be a good or a bad thing because if all these currencies fit those standards, then they could refund everybody's money. However, if you were on the up and up and the government just didn't like you,
Yep.
they could pull all money out of your fucking wallet too. So or freeze your payments or say that you could only spend this here.
And that was the
And
nice thing of the early days of crypto, where you just move it here and there the way you
Yeah.
wanted to, and not, everybody was like, I don't have no restrictions. Yeah, so what? There's no FDIC. I'm still moving
Yeah.
money. I got my shit over here tucked. And like you
Right.
said, at any given time, they can shut your shop down.
Yeah. When you talk about inflation, stable coins don't have a capped amount. Like Bitcoin, there's only 21 million Bitcoin or 24 million, whatever the number is. When it comes to these tokens, it's like the US dollar. They can print as many as they want whenever they need it. So, it doesn't solve the problem of inflation like Bitcoin did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when I first was, picking your brain about it, whatever. I like, oh, I gotta wait. It's the market don't open, until such and such. He was like, dummy. It's crypto we talking about. That shit don't sleep. You could get on right now and see what the shit's doing. I was like, well, damn. Okay, sir. You're right. Let me go and get a couple coins here and there. But yeah, man.
All day, every day.
Yeah, it was I think the party's over now, considering now, the big G got their hands on it, and they they doing things they ain't supposed to be doing. They got their fingers all over this gal. And they're doing things they ain't supposed to be doing to it, man. They freaking it the wrong way.
I don't know, man. There's still going to be a way around everything if you just stay out of like some of these stable coins. You
Gotcha.
stick with Bitcoin. You stick with some of the
There's always gonna
mind
be a
tokens.
way of moving around money.
Yeah.
That's the American way. Like, bro, yeah, I live here, but my money's over in the islands.
Mhm.
It's gonna be a workaround when it comes to these crypto. We
Yeah.
just all got to stick together and do our due diligence, and let's see how they lay this whole thing out. Watch this space and see exactly how far they go and how far they don't go.
Oh, they're gonna fuck it up. They gonna fuck it up. It's not gonna go well. Yeah.
It's
We try
almost a
to get away from
guarantee.
the central bank and these Rothschilds and shit, and here we got
Gotcha.
another one with Ripple.
Yeah,
So
it's like when your parents get a hold, of your music and start doing, the dances and shit. It's over. It's one of those type deals. Like it ain't cool no more. You got your papa and them talking about how they moving, stable coins and shit. It's like, y'all go ahead and add that. That's y'all. We'll figure some other shit out. What you got, B down? What's your two
My 2 cents on it is this: it's still gotta get through the House. So we'll see what's up.
Okay.
this wasn't part of that. This wasn't part of that big beautiful bill thing.
Bro,
Oh no, it still has to go through. Like it's not final yet, because that's what I went through and was checking. Like, okay, one, how much opposition did it have from the other side, and the fact that it kind of passed through both sides pretty easily.
Yeah,
But there
it's
were people that were bringing up issues, and like you got people like Rand Paul up there screaming at the top of their lungs, like, "What the hell is wrong with y'all?" Like, you're like, "Nah, this is stupid." So it's through the Senate, but it still has to go through the other one to get through. So we're not in total push through yet.